Make a defender transfer, roll the transfer, wildcard. I could do any of those three things. These are my early thoughts. Welcome to the Gianni YouTube show. Hope you guys are well. We're looking forward to game week 5. Loads coming up in today's show. We're going to see my bus team. We're going to talk captaincy. We're going to look at some of my options this week and talk about the midweek fixtures as well. There's EFL Cup and Champions League. If you want to show support for the channel nice and early, do hit that like button, but also subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you, as always, for your support. Without further ado, let's have a look at how I got on in game week 4. And it ain't too pretty. Although I think a lot got red arrows, didn't they? A ton got red arrows. The vast majority. If you got a green, let me know in the comments. Look, thankfully, I had a couple of wins, but it was 10 performers. Lewis Hall came off the bench for Ben Johnson, and unfortunately, I got no Sangaro points. He was injured for João Pedro, and I've still got Barco in my team. A lot of one-pointers. Anthony Gordon hitting the post didn't help. Morgan Rogers keeps missing big chances, and bringing in Salah and João Pedro for a hit didn't pay off. Robinson had that late clean sheet wipeout, and Trent didn't get an attacking return despite looking promising and picked up a yellow card for his one-pointer. I'm reading it out like that because so many do listen on podcast, and if you want to listen to any of my YouTube shows in pod form, just search my name on Spotify or iTunes and follow me as a podcast if that's your flavour. But look, we've got to talk about Ollie Watkins. Look, first Haaland, 26 points, thank you. He's doing a lot of heavy carrying for a lot of teams at the moment. But Ollie Watkins, 13 points. So look, let's talk about Ollie Watkins, shall we? I actually tweeted, Michael Keane starts, Ollie Watkins will bang. And it happened. We saw 5'11" Watkins out-jump 6'3" Keane at the back post to score. I was so smug, but also so happy with that. And Ollie Watkins is a player we absolutely now have to consider. The big question is he fully fit? And the answer is absolutely not. But I don't think that matters. He said post-match, and I tweeted this, I still don't feel 100%. I've had a few niggles. That's why he pulled out of the England camp, to try and get himself right. He's still not 100% though, and he did say that post-match, and he came off for around 80 minutes. He says, but he struggles watching from the stands. So look, Ollie Watkins with fixture congestion is a little bit far from ideal. The good news is the fixture spread is good. They played Saturday, they played Champions League in Switzerland on Tuesday night, and then they play Wolves next Saturday. But then after that, it's the EFL Cup for the midweek fixture against Wickham, where surely Watkins gets a rest. And then it's a Sunday game. So between game week 5 and game week 6, he's actually got 8 days, which means surely he'll be absolutely fine. And we could even see sets of 90 from Ollie Watkins, which we haven't seen so far this season. So look, is Ollie Watkins a player we should be moving to? He absolutely is. I just don't think many can get there because, well, the price point's difficult. Structures have been set. If you have free transfers and you can get an Isak out to a Watkins in, I really like that move because the fixtures are absolutely there for Ollie Watkins. Next up, it's Wolves at home, Ipswich away, Man United at home. They're all good fixtures. Let's have a look at my transfer options and my bus team and also talk captaincy. Guys, thank you for hitting that like button, and please do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And loads will think they're subscribed and they're not. Just double check that. But look, let's also give a shout out to today's sponsor, because OneFootball is a football app that I use on a daily basis. Honestly, whether you're looking for transfer news or press conference updates or video clips of goals or just simply the fixtures and the data, OneFootball is the home of Premier League football, but European football too. I use it for Serie A. It's great for the Champions League. Honestly, if you haven't already downloaded it, get it on your phone. There is a link in the description. It takes seconds to download, and honestly, you'll probably end up living on the app just like me. Guys, let's move on now and have a look at my bus team. Now, we call it a bus team in the eventuality that you get run over by a bus. How is your team going to be set? Because, if you get run over by a bus, you're not thinking about, oh, have I broken any bones? You're thinking about, oh, what if I forgot to set my FPL team up? Yeah, we all know what's important in life. Look, my bus team is set. And let's run through it. From the back, we still have Henderson in goal. Thank you for all the one-pointers. We have Trent and Robinson. Lewis Hall is there. Let's hope he continues to start for Newcastle. Midfield of the double Liverpool, Salah, Jota, and then Rogers and Gordon. And then the front three of João Pedro, Haaland, Watkins. Now, as things stand, I have 11 men, but there is a very good chance something happens this week because we have loads of teams playing in the EFL Cup and we have 4 teams playing in the Champions League. Champions League fixtures on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The likes of Liverpool and Villa play Tuesday. Man City play at home on the Wednesday. Liverpool go to Milan. Watkins and Villa go to Switzerland on the Tuesday. So they've got a bit of a journey, but not a bad one. Haaland is at home to Inter Milan on the Wednesday. And then Arsenal play on the Thursday. Yeah, a bit tricky there for Arsenal on the Thursday. That is far from ideal. So we want to be making late moves. So my team selection video is likely going to be out later in this week where I'll commit to one of my options. But when we see this team, I'm like, yeah, if I get all 11 out, great. But I could very easily pick up an injury in the Champions League, or someone like Jota could become an issue. Like, I look at Jota and I think we've just seen a 59-minute sub. We could see more. We could even see some 30-minute cameos and actually Darwin starting up front. So let's consider minutes for the Champions League as well. We also need to look at the future and the fitness of João Pedro. He, of course, missed out. He looks like he'll be fine, but we'll be looking for training pictures there. And then, of course, for my team, it's like the likes of Lewis Hall are going to be important news as well. So am I going to be forced into a transfer? And is wildcard an option? Well, let's have a look at I think I've got 5 options. So look, option number 1 this week, I can sell a Lewis Hall and buy a 5 million defender. I've got 0.6 in the bank. Now, if I was going for a 1-week punt of 5 million defender, I'd probably want someone with upside. There's no obvious clean sheet fixtures for the 5 million guys. Maybe an Udogie could be someone I look at. He's got Brentford at home. He does offer upside. Not quite Pedro Porro levels, but he's very advanced and a very good footballer. Personally, don't think I'll be making that move. It would be a 1-week punt, right? That's a 1-week punt before a wild card in game week 6. Option 2 would be to sell one of my 4 million guys, a Barco or it'd be Johnson, because Johnson could fall in price. Barco's price is locked. And then I would have 4.6 to spend on a defender. I could buy Veltman, who's got Forest at home, or I could buy Konza, who's got Wolves at home. Maybe I get a clean sheet there. But again, if I'm wildcarding game week 6, do I really want to be making these 1-week punts? Well, only if I'm not getting 11 men out. And that is the key for me. I'll be making a transfer, but only if it looks like I ain't getting 11 out. For example, if João Pedro's injured, that's option number 3. If João Pedro's injured, well, I would make a transfer for 1 week. And that could be Welbeck in, same fixture as João Pedro. Forest at home. It could be Calvert-Lewin, who's really catching the eye, playing good football. When Everton are scoring goals, they might not be winning games, but they're scoring goals, Everton. They've got Leicester away, and I think Leicester haven't been great. Calvert-Lewin could have fun against that Leicester back line. Although more likely for me, I hope, is option 4, which is rolling the transfer. Simple roll the transfer. And then if I wildcard in game week 5, or it's game week 6, remember, and I've rolled the transfer, I'll then have 2 free transfers out of the wildcard, right? I'll get to game week 7 and I'll have 2 frees. That's the benefit this year. That's the new rule in play. You can roll your transfers not only up to 5 times, but through the wildcard as well. You can never do that before. Option 5, though, is really interesting. It's a wildcard. If I'm going to wildcard in 6 anyway, which, by the way, spoiler alert, I absolutely am going to wildcard in game week 6, then why don't I just do it in game week 5? Does my wildcard game week 6 team, right, does that team with double or triple Arsenal, with Brian and Burmo, whoever, does that team outperform my game week 5 bus team? So let's have a look at my bus team. Well, I don't know. And this is an exercise that I absolutely have to do. And later in the week, I'm going to put together a wildcard draft. So look out for that on this YouTube channel. And then I'll be making that call in my team selection video. Is it this bus team or is it my wildcard team just a week early? Now, I would like another week's worth of information to react to. And I would like to build the wildcard team probably with triple Arsenal because they've got great fixtures in 6, 7 and 8. But in game week 5, they go to the Etihad. I don't really want triple Arsenal, even on my bench. Like, it's money on the bench then, isn't it? So I have to look at it. But when I look at my bus team, how many guys in this team actually make my wild card? Well, let's go through the 11. Trent stays? Probably. No, Trent stays definitely. Robinson could stay, but I doubt it. So from the back line, no Henderson, no Robinson, probably, no Hall. Salah, I don't think will be in my wildcard team because I won't have enough money for him, Haaland, and Arsenal, and Watkins, and Arsenal, Trent. Jota won't be in. Rodgers will be, I think. Gordon won't be. João Pedro might be. Haaland and Watkins will be. So, look, what I'm saying is, it's big surgery. The only thing is, when I look at this bus team and I go, oh, okay, I actually quite like Jota versus Bournemouth, and I wouldn't have him in a wildcard team, but I like his Game Week 5 fixture. I like Gordon versus Fulham. I like Robinson Newcastle at home-ish. So maybe I just have to see it out. And I think it's very likely I'll end up having to use a transfer or roll the transfer, but actually still commit to a 6 wildcard. But it will be a good experiment to look at a Game Week 5 wildcard, which I will be doing, as I mentioned, later in the week. Guys, shall we have a look at captaincy? Because it's a big one this week. Now, when we look at my team, we can see I've got a couple of very good options. We all looked at captaincy matrices, that's a mouthful, at the start of the season, and went, oh, in Game Week 5, what will we do? You know, make sure you own Salah in Game Week 5 because you can't captain Haaland because, no, Man City always draw 0-0 with Arsenal and Haaland never scores. Well, Haaland has scored against Arsenal and it's not always a 0-0 draw. City are the home team and Haaland is a different beast this season. That summer off has done him good. Honestly, he's still a legit option. Let me know in the comments below who you're captaining and why. But Haaland, at the moment, is top of my list, I think. But again, I'm going to react to what I see midweek. Minutes and form. Salah, Watkins, Haaland. They're my 3 options. They've all got Champions League. Let's have a look. Watkins has got a great fixture. I like Watkins' fixture more than any because he's fresh off a very, very good week. I was looking in the Scout members area earlier to show you some data to compare Watkins and Salah as captaincy options. Now, all the data suggests Salah if you go off game weeks 1 to 4. If you go off game week 4, it all suggests Watkins. Of course it does. Watkins was very, very good. 4 big chances for Watkins in game week 4. He scored 2 of them. He could have had more. Wolves at home is great for him. Salah's got Bournemouth at home. I think Bournemouth are a better team than Wolves at the minute. I think, therefore, Watkins has got the best fixture. I'm probably 30% likely to go Watkins, 30% likely to go Salah, and 40% likely to go Haaland. Maybe I'm 35 Watkins, 35 Haaland, and 30 Salah. I'm not sure. I will let you know later in the week, but it's a 3-horse race for me. For many of you, it might be a 1 or a 2-horse race. So nice that I'm spoiled for choices, but not nice that I have very little clarity. You've seen my transfer options. I'll be committing to one of those later in the week. You've seen my captaincy options. If you've enjoyed the video, do hit that like button and subscribe on the way out. And I'll see you for a wildcard team in the next 24 hours. So make sure you're subscribing to this YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.